Hello, let's do one up. Puzzle 279. It's a 7 by 7 today. The way this puzzle works is each row and column has been split by these bold borders into segments. A segment of length n has the digits 1 to n, exactly once each. This black square here doesn't get a digit, so you can think of it as like just having a bold border on all four sides. All right, I'm going to get started. So this is a one length segment horizontally because the black border does count as a border, or the black cell counts as a border. This also is one vertically. You can just immediately fill those ones. This is a 2 length, and this 2 tells us that's 1 and 2. Let's see, can I follow up on any of that? Yes, this segment needs a 3. Okay, anything else? I like to look at the short segments first to see if there's any just gimmies. I'm not seeing any more. This 2 actually, just the 2 and 3. Right as I was about to say I don't see any more, I saw one more. This 2 doesn't seem to help too much. 3 also. Not yet, anyway. All right, I am not seeing any other gimmies. So the next thing to look at are the long segments. I know it seems counterintuitive, but the long segments can kind of really kickstart you. Oh, I missed this segment. It's really easy for me to miss segments that are created by these black cells. That's a 2 and a 1. Does that help me at all? This can't be 2, 3. That's not quite good enough to place this. This can't be 2. This can't be 2. All right. So let's talk about the long segments. So what I want to do is I want to look at the maximum digit in each cell along the segment. And those are often going to be dictated by the heights of each of the segments for those cells. So this is max 6, actually, because it can't be 7. And just for demonstrative purposes, just to demonstrate, I am going to pencil the max digit in each cell, just so you can see what I'm seeing in my head. But this is easily done in your head. Unless you get to larger puzzles, like the 9x9s, it can get a little hard to keep track of. But this is 6, 7, and you want to kind of just think about the length of the segment is 7, but there's already a 7, so the max is 6, right? You just want to think about like what are the most constrained ones. And so here we've got 2 6s and a 4. And then what are our lowest digits? We already have 1 and 2. So starting at 3, we would need 3, 4, 5 as kind of our low digits. And then 6, 7 are kind of our high digits, if I segment it that way. But we can't catch up to this, right? Like we want to kind of start at the lowest segment we can and start counting up from the lowest digit. So like 3 and then like 4, 5. I don't even care that 5 can't go here. I'm just sort of looking at it from a heuristic perspective. And you can do this in your head. So like 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7. Unfortunately, we hit the 7 before we kind of matched the max. If we can match the max, then we know that those low digits have to go into those up to where we matched. Hopefully that'll make more sense when I find a good example. But I'm going to clear these out because I don't want to confuse myself. Now this row, we have, this can't actually be 1, 2, or 3. So this can't be a low digit. So kind of interesting. This can't be 1, 2, or 3. I don't think that's good enough. This is max 7, 7, and 4. And we need a 1, 4, 6, 7. So, or sorry, we don't even need a 7. So these are actually max 6, 6, and 4. But it doesn't actually help me. I need 1, 4, and 6. So can't do anything with that. Okay, how about this row here? This is max 4. I'll write it out again just to help demonstrate this. This is max 3, max 7, max 7, max 3. And you can kind of also just ignore the ones that are max 7 when you do it in your head. Now, let's start with the smallest digit and skip over any small digits we already have. So we need a 1, we need a 3. Look, we just matched the 3. So let me explain the logic here. But that means that the 1 and 3 are going to end up here. Then when we move up to the 4, we see that this is max 4. That means the 4 has to end up here. And then this is going to be 6 and 7. Now, why do I know that? Well, I need to put 2 digits into these 2 cells, and they max out at 3. And so if I count up from 1, I can put the 1 in one of them, and I can put the 3 in another one. But that's going to use up the 1 and the 3, and there aren't any other digits. I can't put the 4 in any of these 3 link segments. I can't put the 5 or the 6 or the 7. So because I need to put digits in here, there's only 2 digits available, the 1 and the 3. That's what's going to end up there. So I know that these are going to be 1 and 3. I could pencil that just so you can visualize what I'm seeing in my head. These are going to be the 1 and 3. And a Sudoku solver would call this a pair. Which you can easily call it a pair and 1 up as well if you'd like to. So the 1 and 3 end up here, which means now we're counting up from 4, and this matches the 4, which means the 4 does end up there. It's the only digit that can go here, because we can't put the 1, 3 in there anymore. And now we've got 5, 6, 7, which, again, are just going to end up here. 5, 6, and 7 end up like this. We don't know what order. So I'm going to get rid of these, and I'm going to get rid of the 1, 3s, because I don't want to clutter up my grid for no reason. All right, I do need 1, 3 down here as well. I'm looking at the consequences of placed digits. We placed the 4. I am unfortunately not seeing any immediate consequences. So we're going to keep looking across here. We are going to need a 4 in this row, but there's still 2 places we could do that. Oops, I did not mean to click the 7. I meant to click here. All right, so now this final row here, this actually maxes at 3 now because it has a 4 in the column. This maxes at 6. This also maxes at 3. This maxes at, we already have a 7 in the row, so this maxes at 6 as well. This maxes at 6, this maxes at 3. Now notice I have 3 columns that are size 3. So as you'd expect, we need to place 1, 2, and 3 in the row. They're going to end up in the 3 length segments because there's 3 of them. So I count 1, 2, 3, I match up. Now I know that all of 1, 2, 3 end up in these 3 cells, meaning 4, 5, 6 end up in these 3. Now I want to think about 1, 2, and 3 in these to see if I can like restrict it, like this can't be a 2. Unfortunately, it doesn't really help me. But I know these are 1, 2, 3, which means these are only 4, 5, 6. But I can't actually do anything interesting with that yet. I don't think it's too interesting to notice that these are from 1, 2, 3. I think it is a little bit interesting to notice that these are only from 4, 5, 6. So I am going to pencil that. I'm going to leave that there. Normally I'd have like a mental note to try to remember that. But I think putting the notes in the grid can also help, especially if you're still training yourself on how to do that. Okay, so we did all the rows. We only got this 4 out of it, but now we can do the columns as well. So here, this is max 6. Again, there's already a 7 in the column. This is max 6, this is max 6, this is max 4. So 6, 6, and 6, and 4, we need a 1 and a 4, so that's not going to help us. So I'm going to stop penciling them. I'm just going to sort of call them out now. So max 7, max 6, max 4, max 7, max 4, max 6. So we have 2 max 4s. Those are kind of our small ones. Unfortunately, we need 2, 3, and 4, so it doesn't work. Here, I'm not worried about the long ones, right? So I'm just going to think about 3, 4, 3. Now here, you may note it, hopefully you've seen it now. I've done enough of these. 3, 4, and 3. I already have a 2. I need 1, 3, and 4. So if I count, it doesn't matter what order I count them in, but like 1, 3, 4. So hopefully you notice this is going to end up a 4. Because we're going to end up with the 1, 3 pair here. And now this is length 4. The smallest digit it can be is a 4. We have the 5 already, so where's the 6 going to end up? Now this is going to be the 6. So we get the 4 and the 6 out of that. Very handy. And then we're left with a 1, 3 pair that we can't resolve. All right, this column here, we're not worried about the really long ones. This is 3, this is also 3, and this is also 3. So this is where the 1, 2, and 3 are going to end up, which means we need a 4, 5, 6, 7 in the rest of them. Unfortunately, I don't think I can do anything with the 4, 5, 6, 7 in these 4 cells yet. There's some restrictions, but not enough. And I don't think I can place the 1, 2, 3 either. Unfortunately. But I will note the larger ones. So we need 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 4, 5, 7. This is 4 and 6. This is 5, 6, 7. And we know this is already 4, 5, 6. All right. So unfortunately, this didn't actually complete when we looked at all of the columns. Another thing I've kind of noticed is we had a lot of cells that are down to 1, 3. These are down to 1, 3. We had this cell down to 1. These 2 cells are down to 1, 3. This cell's down to 1, 3. So, okay. So yeah, okay, let's actually mark the big digits here because we know that this is the 1, 3 pair. We had that before. So this is 5, 6, 7, and this is only 5, 6. So that might be important as well. There's so many 1, 3s. Okay, I'm clearly missing something that might even be fairly obvious. What did we need here? We need 1, 4, 6. Okay, so where does the 1 go in this row now? Notice I marked this as 4, 6. I didn't know at the time, but this can't actually be a 1, because if you remember, the 1, 2, 3 end up in these 3 cells. So this can't actually be a 1. I marked it not 1. This 1 sees here, so that has to be our 1. And we're left with a 4, 6 here. I'm not going to mark that, because I think that's trivial. Trivial in terms of you just look at the row and you see that's what's left. There wasn't a deduction that actually happened, is what I mean. 3 or 4. I'm going to need a 1 in this column, and look, that can only go here. Now that finishes this 3 and 1, which finishes this 3, which finishes this 1 and 3. This can't be 1, so this is our 1 and our 2. Nice, and also the 2 for the row. We need this 2 tells us this is 2 and 3. Wow, and that gives us the 1. I told you there were a lot of 1, 3s. That was fun. Cool. Nice cascade there. So here we need 2 and 3. I think the cascade stops there. I wonder if I missed any other consequence. Remember we needed the 1, 2, and 3. So this is now 2, 3. Unfortunately, it's not resolved. Oh, no, sorry. It's now 1, 3. The 1 can't go there. So that's 1. That's 3. I misscanned. That finishes this row with a 2. This row needs 2 and 3, which this 2 tells us not there. So that's 3 and that's 2. Okay. This 2 tells us that's 2 and 4. So this can no longer be 4. The more notes you have, the more you have to update as you get digits. And also there's human error, where if you don't notate right, that can be disastrous. So that's why I try not to notate too much. In fact, I could potentially erase all these if I wanted to, but it's kind of a pain to erase them, so I'm not gonna. This ends up being a 4, so this can't be the 4 anymore. So now 4 in this column ends up down here. This can't be 6, so this is the 5, this is the 6. We can clean that up, I suppose. So this is 5 or 7. So where's the... Right, where's the 3 in this column, actually? This has to be the 3 in the column. See, I already have the penciling messed up. That's our 7. That's our 5, that's our 7. The 5... Okay. This 5 tells us the 5. So 5's here. This is our 6. We get our 4. We get our 6, and we're done. All right. Cool. I mean, I took a long time on this because I wanted to really carefully explain how to approach a puzzle like this. I think it's a really nice way to solve. It's pretty fun, and you can do it in your head. And it also points out the things that are important to mark if you do want to mark cells. So cool. I think it was helpful to mark cells here. There were quite a few restrictions that we couldn't resolve right away. That are marking the high digits at least helped us figure out like that the 1 was restricted somewhere. I can't remember where. I think it was the 1. Anyway, that was neat. Hope you enjoyed this, and how'd you do?